What impact does food and drink have on our energy, our focus, and our stress levels throughout the day? Let's start with hydration. Drinking water is obviously really important for the body. Every cycle and aspect that happens within the body requires water. A good amount of water to drink would be 0.03 litres per every kilo of body weight. So this means if you weigh 60 kilos, you would need to drink around 1.8 litres of water per day. Obviously, this does change slightly per person, and if you're drinking caffeine, you'll probably need to drink more water to be able to make up for that. So the foods that we eat have a massive impact on how we feel throughout the day as well. Anybody who's had a big energy slump in the afternoon after eating lunch will know that lunch can have a massive effect on our abilities to focus. But they can also affect our emotions and how well we deal with stress too, and how well we can focus throughout the rest of the day. Eating single ingredient foods normally gives us the most nutrients, which means that our bodies are healthy and happy and able to carry on throughout the day productively. Single ingredient foods can be anything that don't have a big list of ingredients, nothing particularly processed, and something nice and simple. The ratio of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates that we eat can have a big impact on us as well. Balancing our blood sugar levels throughout the day is one of the key things to managing our stress. Our bodies get very stressed out when our blood sugar levels go up and down all over the place. So eating foods that give us a mixture of the fats, proteins, and carbohydrates in the right ratio for us is going to be very important. If we try and eat just something carbohydrate alone, something that's starchy or sugary, chances are our blood sugar levels will go up and then drop back down very quickly, which is when we'll suddenly get that kind of brain fog and fatigue and feel like we need a coffee or some biscuits or something to get us through the rest of the day. When this happens all day, every day, with our blood sugar levels going up and down, our bodies become really stressed, and so many of our nutrients and so much of our energy has to go towards actually managing that blood sugar that we don't end up having enough to be able to focus on the other things that we need to do. So if our blood sugar levels are well balanced throughout the day, we should be able to go 3 to 4 hours without eating, but with very good mental energy and clarity, a positive mood, and an ability to handle lots of the challenges that are coming towards us as challenges rather than as stresses and dramas. So to keep our blood sugar levels balanced, eating these single ingredient foods in the right ratios of the fats, proteins, and carbohydrates can give us all of these great benefits. Fats, proteins, and carbohydrates consist of some well-prepared grains, some good quality oils and fats, meat, fish, and eggs, nuts and seeds, fruits and vegetables. The way to tell if we've got the right balance of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates is by the signals that our bodies give to us. We've been taught to ignore them for a lot of our lives because it's probably quite inconvenient when we're a child and we want to stop after lunch and listen to what our body's saying. However, as adults, we can now tune back in and see exactly what the body is telling us it wants to do. So if we are hyper and anxious after we've eaten, then we know that that food probably didn't work for us, or the ratios of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates haven't worked properly for us. In the same way, if we are really lethargic and we get sleepy soon after eating, then that definitely hasn't worked for us either. So listening to the body and understanding the signals that it gives us is the most impactful way of learning how to be energized, focused, and manage our stress. So how does our sleep and our quality of sleep impact our focus, our energy, and our stress levels throughout the day? Sleep is super important for our ability to learn. So when we don't sleep properly, our memory is impacted hugely. Good quality sleep is kind of like a USB stick in which it takes everything that we've learned throughout that day and plugs into the hard drive of our brain so that it's there for us to access at a later date. If we don't get enough sleep or we don't get the right quality sleep, this doesn't happen effectively. In order to get good sleep, what we need to do is have a very structured evening. So having an evening routine that we repeat most nights of the week will be really helpful in letting our body know that it's time to start winding down and get ready for bed. On top of that, having a cool room, a quiet room, and a very dark room is essential for good quality sleep. Staying away from screens in the evenings is really important too. Screens of all types, so laptops, tablets, TVs, phones, all emit blue light. And blue light is censored by parts of our eyes that think that it's actually dawn light. So they feed back to the brain to tell the brain that it's actually sunrise. So whilst our body is getting ready for bed and our melatonin, our sleep hormone levels are rising, we've got this contrasting signal coming to the brain saying, actually, no, you're wrong, it's dawn. So our sleep hormones can't rise properly. And this quite often leads to people being able to get to sleep but not stay asleep, or take a few hours to be able to get to sleep in the evenings. If we can stay off screens for around 90 minutes before bed, it has a really beneficial impact on this. If we can even go as far as turning down our lights and sitting by candlelight or in dim lighting, then that's even better.